Hi all, this is Molly Jackson, and this is my final Capstone project. If you remember, I made a community center, and just an excerpt from my concept is a hidden treasure within an abandoned ghost box. Just a table of contents. I don't want you to get too hooked onto that. I want you to pay attention. So, just some information about the client, just to refresh you. This was originally a Walmart supercenter that was abandoned, and it would be proposed for people of all ages and accessible to all, regardless of age, ability, or economic background. And just a little bit about the location. This was the original site. It is located in Aurora, Colorado, and originally it had about 156 square feet. Just to refresh you, the nearby facilities were neighborhoods, a high school, a few elementary schools, an AMC theater, a small library, a Aurora reservoir, a horse track, and an outdoor golf course, but the outdoor golf course is about 20 miles away. And a little bit about Aurora. It's the third largest city in Colorado. It has a population of around 380,000 people. It's mainly Gen Z and millennials. In this area, the median household income is around $53,000. The community is known for its food, artistic exhibits, outdoor recreation, and relaxing atmosphere. A lot of the community enjoys activities such as sailing, golfing, art, fast-pitch softball, and live theater. Some of the top things to do in Aurora are explore outdoor parks, trails, golf courses, or reservoirs, or even go hiking or visit public art places. With my project, like I said, it was originally 156,000 square feet, and I have an estimated added space of about 80,000 square feet, so it total is about 236,000 square feet. So I came up with some of the needs for the clienteles. I just thought that most of the users would be either moms taking their children to go to this community center, or even adults going to take learning classes. So I based most of these needs off of humans' innate needs to play, learn, create, and relax. And so spaces that fall into those categories were coffee bar, an ice cream shop, a restaurant, a venue space, a playground, garden, kind of community garden and farmer's market, different art areas, a library, and a fitness center. So my concept statement was a hidden treasure within an abandoned ghost box. The main goal of this project was to create a sustainable community that stimulates users' innate needs to play, learn, create, and relax. The conceptual idea of a treasure box guides the adapted reuse of an abandoned Walmart into a community center. By taking inspiration from the natural elements of the existing building and an image of a treasure box, a combination of the two unlocks new possibilities for its users. So these are just some of my examples of evidence-based design. With color theory, there were two dominant color schemes for this project. One was analogous in nature, in that the colors fall between yellow and orange. You can see that with the brown colors in my background as well. As the analogous color scheme had mainly neutral hues, an additional color scheme was added to complement and accentuate those tones. The other tone is complementary, you can see over here, and it had a triadic color scheme. Color psychology, brown is a tone between orange and yellow, so it's not only represents natural elements, but it incites feelings of warmth, security, and strength, all things that can lead to comfort. Similar to brown, yellow invokes warmth. However, it's more commonly associated with positive emotions than brown. So both of these colors can inspire negative emotions, as they can seem isolating or empty. In order to combat any potential negative emotions, vibrant tones such as white, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and violet were used for accents. For wayfinding for this project, I integrated not just signage or map systems, but I also correlated materials for specific areas. By using different colors, color coordinated to the areas, spaces were more visually distinguishable for each other. Different flooring materials were used for each overall area to indicate to blind users the change in different spaces. While there are floor changes, the textures and brands were similar to ensure that there was an almost non-existent transition. Ergonomic-wise, as users for this project span all age groups, all spaces were accessible for all body types and abilities. Here's just some inspiration. Treasure box, really white, open, airy, readaptation of a Walmart. That's what I was going for. This is just a schematic image of my bubble diagram. As you can see, the indoor playground was my main focus for the entire space. I really wanted it to be a central area for the entire center to just kind of radiate off of and connect to each other, and that's kind of what I've done. Here you can see some sketches. So I started with a box and tried to make that into a treasure box. I was really inspired by, here you can see a treasure box that has many different compartments inside of it, even like grid patterns, and I thought that would be really interesting to combine those together. So instead of just being a plain box, it would have a combination of these different grids and geometric shapes. Additionally, I really was interested in keeping ergonomic spaces for all, so I had to think about children, young children, to teenagers, to young adults, to older adults, to even from able-bodied to non-able-bodied. Just a wide variety of people, and so I wanted to have different areas so everyone can feel comfortable in different ways. Here's more schematic images. Here you can see my space planning. As you can see, like I said, my indoor playground is the largest and central focus of my entire floor plan, and I kind of radiated areas off of that. And so, like, connected to it, you can see the skate park and a daycare center, so patrons can take their kids here and go to to the daycare center if they have very young children and they just want to go to like the mini putt-putt golf course just for a little while, or just to go take a classroom in either the library or in the kitchen area. So anything kind of that kind of area. When you enter the space, there's two focal areas. This two main entrances. Originally there was a third main entrance through the community garden, which I've closed off just for safety and purposes. Mainly there's a bunch of technology and there's going to be a lot of children in this area, so I thought it would be more important to just have two really focal entrance points, and then there are many exit points, of course, for egress, but just to keep it kind of more distinct and for wayfinding purposes. So you'd either come into this area and then come to a reception desk. Over here is similar. And then, as you can see, there's these co-working spaces, ice cream shops, venue, a salon and spa kind of in the front. Those are all just kind of areas everyone can enjoy. And then I have the dining area, which is more of a culinary center for for people so they can go. So I imagine schools taking the children here for not vacation, but their field trips, sorry. And I imagine them going and having to all eat lunch here, so they need a big, large area to eat, and then maybe they have people who are taking classes here who feed them, or they just eat their sack lunches and then go to the playground and do other activities here. Additionally, there's a fitness center. I really wanted it nearby to the indoor playground, but separated because I wanted to have a pool and different areas in the fitness center. So I have a large area for the pool, which to get into the fitness center, there is a main entrance here, and then there is a second entrance you can get into around the back, closer to the golf course. Once in the fitness center, you can see the basketball court. You would walk in and go either to the gym, work out. I know a lot of people like to go to different areas. I know my female friends like to go to a more populated area with other females. So I added a mezzanine, which we'll see in a minute, for that doesn't have like any seating behind it. I know that's really important. For females or males, anyone, so you aren't like being watched as you work out. Once you get into the basketball court, there are the changing rooms. So if you're a woman, you would go into the main women's changing room, and then there is a women's sauna you can enjoy, you can relax, and then you can also go into the pool. It's a similar setup for the men's changing room, just reflected. And then the golf center is this area in the back. I have a rock wall in the front, and then you would walk into a golf lobby with restrooms and a small lounge that would then take you into a mini putt-putt course. And then if mini putt-putt doesn't entice you, there is a long-range golf course. Originally, this area was a loading dock, which has been converted into a long-range golf course. Similar to any indoor-outdoor golf courses you may see in like the Edmond area. In this back center here, you can see the learning center, and it starts off kind of in different areas. There's no main entrance per se, there's different areas to it, but say you were wanting to go do some research or take a class, you may go to the library, or which is a very large area, or go to a study room. The media center is what connects the library to the classrooms here, and some relaxing rooms for different age groups, which goes down a pretty long hallway, but which opens up to a large waiting room and yoga and dance studio classes. I wanted there to be a nice break and relaxing, or like a relaxing fitness break between the library and the basketball court. I knew there would be a lot of fitness areas kind of in this area on my floor plan, but I just didn't want there to be a lot of noisiness near the library, so that's kind of why I added them this way. I thought the dance studio and yoga studio would be much quieter and relaxing. And then here you can see the art center. The first thing you might see when coming into this area is the art gallery, but there are art classrooms and a ceramics classroom, and then even a kiln room that connects to the outdoors. Now, even though there is an AMC theater, there was originally an automobile center here that has a downstairs area, and it's very large. And I didn't want to just not use this access to the underground, so I made that into a large underground green room for a theater and it would be more of a community theater space. It would not be like an AMC theater, it would be a dramatic theater. Along this area, you would see the skate park and the indoor playground, but there is also the music center in this art center. It is connected with the recording room and an audio room with quiet areas and a multi-purpose music room so that different people can enjoy different areas. And then back at the front, even I have closed this off, there is directioning towards this center, and there is an interior main entrance here through the children's garden, which would lead into the community garden and a butterfly garden. Those areas all would be connected to the farmers market. Here you can see the different areas I have kind of correlated with them. So my original concept, of course, was play, learn, create, relax. And so I wanted to make sure that these different areas were kind of throughout the entirety of this space. Here you can see the space planning of the mezzanine. I just really wanted to make sure that the mezzanine looks down to the indoor playground. Here you can see in the fitness center there was the gym mezzanine and 2 more fitness classrooms. In the theater there is actually a small second floor added, so there is a lights and sound room and upper storage. In near the garden center there is an upper restaurant and an open stage area, so they can have concerts or have different fancy restaurant dinners to kind of showcase the farmers market and community garden. And again, here are those different areas of play, relax, learn, create. Here are just some of my materials. Again, it was a mainly analogous color scheme, and a complementary and triadic color scheme as well for the accents. Here you can see some for the walls. And this is just some of my areas for the furniture and fixtures. I did a lot of geometric shapes to symbolize a treasure chest. This would be an office area, and this would be used for multi-use areas and common areas around the mezzanine and central areas that are not necessarily rooms. So these kind of can help create a space within an open area. Here again you can see my scaled floor plan. This is the scaled floor plan of my mezzanine. Here is my furniture floor plan. Here you can see what I was talking about a little bit more, in that here are the 2 main front entrances. You would walk in and there would be a reception area. You would walk through the space and you could see the indoor playground with doors here and here. There's entrance points all around it, but access to the mezzanine is through the indoor playground, or even to the right over here to the side. Here you can see more areas with my furniture, how I laid different furniture pieces throughout the areas to guide wayfinding for the users, as is very open. Here's the mezzanine. You would be able to, as you can see, there is a walking track around it, so that you can walk around the mezzanine and look down into the indoor playground. Here's the rendered floor plan. This is the upper mezzanine floor plan. And these are just some reflected ceiling plans. Most of the areas are exposed. However, I have added a lot of ceiling areas to combat acoustic issues. Here are just some elevations. This is of the indoor playground. As you can see, there's the staircase that goes up. This is the egress staircase, and then the more pretty staircase. Here is the section of the main center, which is just the front entryway. You can see the front entrance here and here. Here is the co-working space that I have. This is the coffee shop area. This is the ice cream bar. No, this is the ice cream bar, and these two are restaurants connected in the middle with the kitchen. Here's an elevation or a section of the garden center, and here is a section of the art center. You can see here, this is the library, this is one of the art classrooms, back here would be the theater, and then the audio musical area. This is a final rendering. Here's another final rendering of the indoor playground. Oh, this rendering is of the entranceway, looking into the playground here and the mezzanine on top. Again, indoor playground, and my references. Just to quickly look at my final images, project boards. These are my project boards. I have, I'm not sure why it's not wanting to load. I'll just zoom in. But these are my project boards. I've just laid out my large rendered floor plan with my a brief concept statement, my materials, my rendered image, a bubble diagram, my two maps. This is a wayfinding map, and this is those different areas map. And then here are, again,